Hanson. I bet you think you're bad.
Please welcome Hanson.
Hey, man. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Your Zoom thing says Jordan Hanson. I'm like, have you changed your name?
Oh, it's my first name. It's one of those habits. I put it in on things, and then it shows up. And I do a random Zoom and goes, "Hi, Jordan. How's it going?" Well, no, that's not. Never mind.
Yeah, that's all right. I thought I might have just uncovered something that somewhere that you check it, how you're checking into hotels around the world. That's like your pseudonym or something.
Oh no, that would be all too easy.
Yeah,
it's much more complicated than that.
I think the Hanson thing would probably be a bad way to try and be
exactly.
incognito.
Oh no, I'm the other Hanson. Oh.
Yeah. Mate, how you going? I saw you out here at the Opera House, and we've hung out before at the Enmore Theatre. It's lovely to see you again with your blonde locks. You're looking very well and fresh.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I just decided to have some more fun with the hair.
Yeah.
Got it. One last ditch effort in my 30s, right? Just go crazy.
You just
about my midlife crisis. Yeah.
Well, I just turned 40 last year, so I didn't do that with my hair yet. But maybe I can try that for 41.
Yeah. I never even conceived of that as like that's the reason. I was like, oh God, am I just like the cliche? Oh my God. But no, I mean, feeling good. We're excited to get back to Australia this year.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, firstly, tell us. I think the album title "Red, Green, and Blue" triggers me as a colorblind person.
Is that right?
I can see. They're the three colors I actually can see. But tell us about it, because from the looking at it from an outsider's point of view, it seems to me like this is a very clever way of doing solo projects without pissing the other band members off.
I mean, it's way too upfront to be like a secret.
Yeah.
I do think we've definitely been at a transition with the band of just people having things they want to do, stretch muscles, do different, feel creative in different ways. This year we've been a band for 30 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which is like all of our lives. I mean, I was 9 when we started singing, and as brothers, you can start it makes more sense. You think about, hey, we're brothers, we grew up together, but 30 years of really doing it. It's 25 years since we went to Australia for the first time. I mean, that's a lifetime. So I think mostly it's a creative expression. This is actually, it's a project that Isaac had thrown around for quite a while, and kind of thought, well, that's interesting, but you need to pick when you're going to do something that distinct, and it really does kind of break the box. And each one of us basically wrote 5 songs and kind of came in and said, here's what we're going to do, and was able to say, this is how I want to do it. And I do think it's an indication of some different things for the band coming up, but there's a huge regard for what we've done and who we are and who we've been together and the fans. And just so think of this as more of just a deconstruction in order to sort of highlight the things that make the band unique.
Yeah. Well, you're about to hit the road in July, but you're out here in November. Have you worked out, like, structurally, how does the show look without giving too much away? Like, are you out separately? Are you what are you doing? How does it look?
But it's funny. It's actually interesting. We were rehearsing the tour, and I was actually, particularly with Zach, with a drummer, drumming is a very specific thing that you're kind of anchored to. And so I was kind of, on a couple of songs, I was like, okay, Zach, you want me to play drums? And he kind of looked at me like only a drummer can and said, no, I'll play drums. In other words, you want to grab a keyboard or play an instrument, because, when on Zach's portion particularly, of course, he's playing keys and guitar and different things, as well as being the drummer, and I'm doing other things as well. But so interestingly, from a live show point of view, I think it's going to feel very much like a Hanson show, that you definitely will. We've broken it up so you can really feature these different songs. You can really feature the sounds from this album. Because the other thing about it is we've all experienced this sort of just this gap of activities during the pandemic. I mean, the whole world is just like a teenage girl that's like ready to go to the beach. Like, she's just ready to get dressed and like,
please let me put this bikini on. I need to put this bikini on now.
Yeah. It's like the whole world is just ready to go, just explode, I think, and have a good time and celebrate. So we see the tour as kind of celebration of the years of the anniversary, and also a chance to highlight this new record.
With the pandemic, just quickly, I hate talking about it because I know that's what we've all talked about, and you especially would have done 100 interviews about it. But did you use your time wisely, or I mean, I know you've become a father again, but did you use your time wisely, work-wise and personally, or did you go, I could have done something different with that 2 years?
Well, I mean, there are certainly things that I still, probably wish I could do. I didn't do what some of the guys, especially my peers, did. Like, you finally built a treehouse, or you organized your garage. Your wife had been bugging you to do forever.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of that. But I did get time with family, and the band's sort of made 2 albums during this time. That's not a small thing. I had a front row seat for the issues that were happening in the pandemic, and I have a nonprofit here in Tulsa where we really took on feeding people and helping feed people during the pandemic, and that really was a massive wake-up call. We were doing that already, but the pandemic just made it crazy. So many people out of work. So anyway, I different things. I mean, tried to do good things with time, but I think the mostly just tried to be creative, and I feel pretty good about it, considering. I mean, also had a child. So,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm not saying you were bored or anything. You nothing. You weren't boring, but I was like, did you learn Spanish, or did you learn how to ride a motorbike?
Well, okay, didn't learn how to ride a motorcycle, but did do a little bit of riding.
Okay.
Have a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Against all the advice of all humans. Everyone's like, those things will kill you. You're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's part of the thrill.
Absolutely. So, watching Tom Cruise in Top Gun just on his motorbike without a helmet on, I'm like, I could do that. That's easy.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I tried not to do it without a helmet, but
yeah.
But it's
Well, no,
it's
you have children, you have responsibilities. You're about to go on a world tour. You have to wear a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Put on your helmet.
Yeah. Tell me about the brewery, because I know that was a huge topic of conversation more with you and I backstage after the shows the last few times you've been out here.
Yeah.
Did you see orders go through the roof over the pandemic? How's it been going? Because I noticed there's a few new little additions there. You've got where is it? The Tulsa tea.
Beers.
Yeah, the Tulsa tea looks like a new addition with the
Hanson
Brothers Brewery.
Yeah, it's a stout. And I mean, I wish I could say the doors blew off during the pandemic. I mean, I think everyone drank a lot as a population of the world, but mostly people went for cheap. And so I think craft beer didn't have the greatest time in the world, and so we've kept it an even keel. We have a good little operation. If you ever, are in the Midwest, we have it around, and I'm hopeful kind of as we kind of come into the spring of our, of the world, that we'll be back on more of an expansion track. But it's just chipping away. I mean, we did some, a few different styles, really was developing recipes. Craft beer, I do love craft beer so much because it really is such a community thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we talked about our festival. I mean, that was another thing that was a big hit during these last 2 years. We didn't host this craft beer and music festival. So kind of just hoping for that to return, and beer music, and live events, just as a whole. It's like so much pent up energy.
You just need to come down and keep spruiking that Americans do understand beer, even though on the surface Australians still think it's just Bud Light and Coors and stuff, which is fine. It has its place. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place.
Well, no, but yeah, Bud Light has its place in the trash.
Yes.
Maybe down a drain. Like, that's where it belongs.
So, you're out here November 6th. You're doing Perth. You go to the Enmore again, our old stomping ground, on the 9th. Then you head to Adelaide on the 12th, 14th in Brisbane, Melbourne on the 16th. You're playing beautiful venues as well, like beautiful theatres around Australia. How did it go at home, especially being a new dad, when you have to announce to the family that you're going on a world tour from July?
Well, they just asked, like, which places they were going with me.
Okay.
I mean, we have a little bit of a different dynamic than each of us with our families. I've taken mine out as much as I can, but international is really, it's a lot. I mean, it's exhausting. It's expensive. It's a lot to carry, everybody. So we'll see. I'll probably have one wingman with me from my, not technically a wingman, right? A child.
Yeah.
A big child. So I have 7 kids. So my oldest are old enough to sort of roll with the punches, so to speak. But
how old's your oldest though? How old's your oldest?
My oldest is 19.
Okay, so to answer me this then, so I was interviewing the Foo Fighters only a couple of months ago, actually, and Chris Shiflett, the guitarist, said he was coming out to Australia to do one show, and his 18-year-old said to him, "Yeah, no, I'll be right." It's like he's like, I've got space on the plane. Why don't you come out and hang out with me for a few days? He's like, no.
Well, I mean, who knows what context that was in? I mean, it's a big deal. Tour is exhausting.
Yeah.
But I mean, we definitely tried to share the adventure of seeing the world wherever we could. I mean, my wife and I brought our kids, one of the European tours like several years ago. We had almost everybody there, and I brought my oldest son last time I was in Australia with me. But it's exhausting. And to be fair, like probably all of our wives are kind of ready for us to get on the road. Like,
yeah,
can you please, you give us some space, like please. You've been here way too much.
And I also think no matter who you are or what you do, it proves that whatever dad does for a living is not cool if you're talking about your own kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, mate, congrats on the album. I've got to say, I really loved the Child at Heart demo too. Having the kid, it sounded like that I loved how that just came second on the album, and then the kids are involved in the background. That must be the sound of your day-to-day.
Not in my life. Oh, I mean, it's interesting that little vignette that is actually, it's shown up on playlists and things since we put the record out. We were never meant for it to, but that's the songwriting. I mean, that was actually sitting writing the song, and it felt like it was a part of the story. It used to be that when you listen to albums, you built kind of like a flow. You had interstitials and transitions, and so anyway, that's just kind of a part of the experience.
And while I've still got you semi-hollow as well, I can't wait to see live. It looks like a real fun hoedown, that one. I mean, that's probably the worst word that you want to hear to describe one of your songs, but it was very enjoyable in the car on the way here.
It's a jam. Yeah,
it's a jam. It's better, not a hoedown. It's a jam. Well, mate, so good to see you again. Can't wait to see you out here end of the year, and congrats with the album. It's awesome.
Cheers, man. Thanks so much.
See you soon, Jordan.
All right. See ya.